Do this. So recording is on. It's so nice to see you, Julie. And maybe I will say first hello to every single one of you, whoever is watching. And me and Julie, we've decided we're just gonna connect, both of us. We felt a little tap on the shoulder. Come on, it is about time to get together again and have a little chat. And the reason why I'm talking to you, Julie, we met a few months ago on one of the Zoom calls. And
Yeah.
um, and I remember how much I was attracted to that light. So I started following you. You are in US, I am in UK, but thank God we have internet. And you are very, very, very active on YouTube. Every single day you are posting something, and that stuff is in a beautiful shape and form. The reason for it, I take it this way, is because it is a very it goes straight to the heart, it goes straight to the core, but you're not overloaded because it isn't 30, 40 minutes or an hour of it, right? Not every single person has this amount of time as well through the day. And it still brings the most important thing, at least for me, the awareness. The
Mhm.
awareness and the depth and level of it that you represent is just absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much for that. Uh, I'm definitely going to add your link to your YouTube and link to your Facebook under that video, and as well, under the post that I'm gonna attach this video to, so people can definitely dig in and look for you. And Julie, the reason for it is because more and more people is waking up. And we need this awareness. We need this light. We need someone to follow for this period of our journey that we need to follow someone. So thank you so
Mhm.
much for being here. Tell us, how are you doing? And if there is anything you want to say about yourself, feel free to just let it go.
Okay. Well, first of all, Eliza, is that correct?
Lisa, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just love being with you. I love your energy and your warmth and how you reach out to people, and I think each one of us has just the perfect quality that comes so naturally to us that we need
Mm.
to walk with everybody. I like to think of it, we're all walking each other home. That's not for me. I picked it up and I've been hanging on to that. We're all walking each other home, and we all have the tools we need to express and to share as we're walking each other home. So I wanted to share with you the origin of my messages. Um,
Yes, please.
the way I always think of it is they help me get my head out of my ass. So they're for me, you know? So if you do read one or listen to one, either you, the word you is used. It's my friend, my non-physical friends talking to me,
Mhm.
kind of putting me in that setting for the day. And then after, I think I've been receiving and publishing in the format I'm doing now for a little over 2 years. And sharing more widely is recent. It's pretty recent that I'm sharing it like I am. Before I thought that might be pushy, but lately I've just gotten the push to do it, and I realize I don't have to define it in any way. If it's there, I'll share it. But how it was told to me is, of course, these messages help you, but it's also easy to put them in a format where they're shareable with others, for others, and they will benefit from it too, and they will get in touch with their own guidance too. So that's what's most important to me, that we all find our way to that inner knowing that tells us in every moment, that we're okay, we're good, everybody's good, and here's what to do next.
Exactly, and I like how you speak about it, about that guidance. You call your guidance non-physical friends. Some people call it my guide. Some people call it them, they, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is this higher level of consciousness. It is this higher level of understanding that, just like you said, it takes us home. This is beautiful. For a while, I've been struggling a lot with. Judgment, inner judgment. The one of the reasons for it is I've been made aware of how much that stands on my way to any type
Mhm.
of progress, to any type of freedom, to any type of being more useful to myself, to all of us, and all of it. It was that judgment, and I've been made aware of it a good few years ago, and it's always just been so baffling for me until a few days ago. right after I messaged you, things started happening and changing. Maybe because I started literally surrendering, and I literally opened up like, I really need help with that. I really need help with that. And it happened throughout the period of the days, and then few meditations in a row together with breath work, and a lot changed, a lot shifted. And I believe I'm gonna come across that lesson again and again and again and again. That's just a part of that journey, I believe. But what was the most puzzling for me is that the judgment is something that we are using to be able to figure out, okay, am I gonna burn my hand, or am I okay with touching that, right? Am I gonna be okay with going in this direction, or I'm gonna fall off the cliff? So very similarly, it is like a little bit like a protective mechanism, but when my head runs me, which I can call as well when I'm ego driven and I'm not fully aware what's going on, that judgment drives me. And it isn't exactly even my judgment, am I safe here like physically to survive? It is more like they don't look the way I've been told they're supposed to look, and all that stuff. And I've been struggling with it because I'm waking up, I'm doing the inner work that I'm doing so I can feel light and I can bring the best I can during that day into the world, myself and others. And then the judgment pops in, right? Bam, 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 bam. And I feel myself and my vibration going new entirely over there. And I feel heavier and heavier, and I feel more and more stripped down from the lightness. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you mentioned a lot about that in your videos. Every time I would hear you, you are talking about it. It is somewhere always there. So if you would like to share a little bit more about that, and if you have any more tips for me or insights, I would definitely appreciate. And whoever is watching that, it's gonna appreciate that as well.
Okay, great. Just give me a little wave because I got one of those Zoom messages that my meeting quality is affected. So let me know if there's any problem with the sound. Okay, so judgment. Every day. That's our everyday work. It's like we're swimming out of this world of illusion we made with thoughts. We make all the illusions with our thoughts. And so anytime I'm judging something, it becomes really funny when it gets shown to me that I'm just bumping up against something that I made and I ask to have shown to me and I ask to experience. And it's like, you can stop fighting with yourself now. The only self you can meet in any world is yourself, because there's only one self. And I'll sit and I'll feel this and I'll feel the peace of it and I'll say, oh, that's just so great. And then I'll go into real life, and real life will show me everywhere I'm tensing up, everywhere I'm resisting, everywhere I'm fighting. Everything that's good will, not good as opposed to bad, but like the good without opposite that guides us out of our illusions, it will just roll right up to our door. But I'll just use I language. I am very busy fighting it a lot of the time. So it's funny that, I receive messages, I share messages, I might think, well, I'm not perfect enough to share these with others because, oh my gosh, look at what life shows me every day. But then I get told that's the school, that's the learning. Just recently, we started looking for a new home. My husband and we have 4 kids. So yesterday morning, we had put an offer in on a house the night before. And my husband and I were both talking about how we hope we don't get it. We hope we get it. We hope we. And we're just, I was a freaking mess. I had so much anxiety come up. And I really started appreciating the role of the real estate agent. You think the people you meet aren't spiritual. Bull crap. This real estate agent, she midwives people through their fussiest times, when they're thinking they're losing a home, and they're afraid. It's so metaphorical, and they're afraid that the home they're gaining maybe isn't good enough, or maybe they're not good enough for it, or maybe they can't handle it. Through these transitional times, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she has to deal with people when they're going through this transitional stuff. So forget me. Look at the real estate agent. Like, look what she's doing. And I think this journey just helps us see all over the place the beautiful work that people are doing, simply by being willing to show up and be with each other as our stuff comes up, and to just be with each other as we move through our stuff. Where if you're on earth, you got stuff and you're moving through it, and we're all doing it together.
That's beautiful. And I like how you always show the example, because if anyone is going to watch a little bit more of your stuff, is going to see the depth and the level of your wisdom, and you always show yourself as a human. I absolutely love that, because the ego part always wants me, as soon there is a little bit of knowledge, to show myself above it, or if I'm wrong about something, wants me to show myself below it. So thank you so much for that. And like the example that you mentioned with the judgment that comes in every single day, what I've been shown that it's the best I can do right now, which of course 5 minutes from now on it might not work, or it might, it is to simply just be as much aware as I can be, and just give myself the space to whatever comes in, let it come in. It doesn't mean I have to ride that wave. It doesn't mean I have to get on that train and go for the ride wherever wants to take me. And it is helpful, and it made the difference for me within the last few days. And it makes the difference as well, Julie, when I look down and I see, like you mentioned, why am I feeling this way? What is my current situation? Okay, I'm dealing with anxiety, or I'm dealing with a little bit of fear, or I'm dealing with a little bit of insecurity, and knowing exactly where I am. That's amazing. That's amazing. What is your daily practice, if you don't mind me asking? Do you meditate? What do you do for yourself? Just you, Julie and Julie.
Judgmentally, in my ego, I would say Julie sucks at meditation. So the way a way for me to sit still is and I do what you would call meditation, because I do find value in it. But I can't tell you that I've been swept off into these mystical states or anything. I'm just sitting still, meeting my thoughts just like everybody else. So when I receive the messages, there is that stillness into which I can let something come that does not seem to be of me. And then when I'm sharing it, it's just a little bit longer time-wise, that I can sit in that energy and stay there, and it kind of sets me for my day. So I'll get up, I'll meditate in the classic sense, I'll receive my message, I'll share my message, then move on with the day. But everybody has tools along the way, and a tool that I still use is the Course in Miracles.
Ooh.
And of course, all the groups I'm in online. But I find it necessary to get reminders throughout the day. So I use mantras, or I stop, or I close my eyes, I breathe. And I've received healing processes that I've shared on my website that I've used at various times. I've focused in on those. I've used them like a tool. We don't use them forever. When the tool doesn't have any resonance with us anymore, we put it down. Yeah. But I think everything we need shows up for us, and it lights up for us. And we say, oh, I want to do that. Like for a long time, for years, the work of Byron Katie is something I did, a method of self-inquiry. And that really broke open the shell to help me understand what this presence is, that is what we all are, and what we can tune into at any moment to get the help that we need when we're in any sense of distress or disturbance, even mild irritation, to just go in and let that make all the decisions for us.
That's so beautiful. And there is so much calmness when you speak about it. There is so much beautiful energy that you are bringing in. So thank you for that. Julie, before we hopped on that call, literally 30 seconds before that, I went on your Facebook and I read your recent post. And that post was about, I would like you to share a little bit about it because I shared it on my page as well, but it was so beautiful. And if you would like to just share a little bit about it, if you don't mind, because I know it's going to help with the awareness to so many people. Let me just start about guidance, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I spoke a little bit about it with Wendy yesterday. We had a little call, very similar like here on the Zoom, and we meant to talk about, like we said, okay, let's see where the guidance takes us. The guidance took us to talk about the food, changing the food, you know, and adjusting our bodies to that, what we are currently going through. But we always go to that guidance. We always go to this guide. So if you would like to say something, maybe a few words that it's going to help the viewers as well to realize how to listen to that guidance. And the reason for it is that for majority of my life, up until last year, I was blocking that guidance through that judgment that I was mentioning earlier on. Because what was in my head, and it was very deeply rooted in my veins, was what others will think of me. That if my mommy and daddy is not gonna approve of it, and I've been taught for so many years how to be and how to not be, you know, I shouldn't be accepting this and that. So we all carry this level of judgment where we reject the parts of ourselves that actually might and will take us to that guidance. So if you can talk about that, I would appreciate it.
Oh, sure. To me, the guidance is just like it's our shared identity. So the part I love about it is that it comes from everybody. And if I think I have an enemy or an irritant in my life, it's very kind of funny and sweet to see the guidance that I want to be there for me in every moment comes from them too. Through them, they could speak to me the words of guidance. You know, guidance can come from a billboard, from a person speaking to you, from a thought that seems to arrive in your head. It just lifts you up and carries you. And it's just the allowing it to be done. We're so accustomed to this mode of, I do it, I decide, I have to figure it out. It's on me, this separate me, right? And anytime I'm feeling a sense of disturbance or distress, you know, from the minor to the major, it's my me that's active. I think I have to operate this me, and I think this me can be threatened by all the other me's or by the conditions of a world that I'm actually projecting with thought. So the one of us is in the driver's seat, and the one of us is what will come through to us. What was pointed out to me today is my Julie personality voice that tries to stay in control of things in an effort to, well, this is what ego tells me, keep me safe or keep me satisfied. You know, I want this, I don't want this. So like help me to avoid things I might not like. These are all the things ego would tell me. So what I received today is that was so helpful is that ego makes a case. Ego builds up a case. Ego has reasons. Ego has reasons for and reasons against. And then I'll acquire that belief and say, okay, yeah, I'll depend on you. And then that'll keep me deciding as this separate self. But guidance is just there. And guidance is always there if we don't block it. And guidance inspires. So it's helpful for me to see it's ever present, and I'm the only one who can block it. So it's just that judgment work every day. It's such an opportunity. The day is going to bring us the opportunity to see where we're blocking guidance, and there are processes we can go through, and eventually we don't need the processes anymore. We just tune in and realize I'm full of crap. I'm going to settle down into what I am. and let that run things. It's so simple, you know, it's so simple.
I think it's frozen. It's a little frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen for me.
Yes, you are a little bit frozen. Oh, you're back. You're back.
You too.
You're good. Oh. Something is constantly in my eye. Sorry about
I
that. Something
noticed
is
that.
constantly
That's
in my
okay.
eye. Maybe, I don't know what is it, but something is in my eye. I'm just gonna have to take care of that later on. Yeah, yeah. So as long as that's gonna fall out, I'm good. um, what we were talking about, Julian, that eye and that frozen screen distract me a little bit, but that's okay. Yes, the guidance, and I like how you speak about that, you know, because it's so simple. It's so simple, and I'm the one who usually complicates it stuff, you know, but that's because it comes from there. I was talking to someone yesterday, and we were talking how things are simple and so easy to experience when we go through with the heart, but when the moment we try to describe it or put into words or put on a paper and try to run it through the mind, it goes a little bit more complicated and into the trouble. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Julie. That was just beautiful and amazing because it flows through you. It flows through you, and I know it is definitely might be challenging for you to have your own practice, post every single day on social media, and have a family, 4 kids, husband, and all that stuff. I hope everything is going to go very well for you with the house and everything. I hope
Thank
everything
you.
is going to end up in divine order, in divine timing, the way it's going to work for every single one of you.
Yeah, I wish the same for everybody else. Let's relax and remember how good without opposite we all are, and enjoy each other.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for connecting. I'm going to stop recording and we can have a little chat after that if
Okay.
you would like. And I'm just going to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in and watching. And we will, guys, see you soon at some point in the future.
Thanks, Elisa.